Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Damontae bringing you a banger. Don't forget to follow on my Twitch, please. This is where we have daily content. With the release of Crime Boss coming out on Steam, I'm going to review the Cagnali DLC and the 3 missions that actually come with this new DLC. Those missions are the Cyberstorm, which you're showing up to a hotel to, I believe, stop the Cagnali from taking over the area, and then she invites you to come onto her chopper, which we'll get more into that in just a minute. And then there's Cagnali's Fortress, where you're showing up to the actual building and going to meet the lady, or fight the lady. And then there's Free Graves, which is one of your teammates from the story mode. I'm sure you guys can all remember, but you have to free him from jail. Let's go ahead and start with the Cyberstorm mission, which I believe is the chronological first mission in the game here. Now, I didn't mean the game, I actually mean just for this DLC. So as we mentioned earlier, you're showing up to a hotel to start hacking these computers, and you have to turn generators on. And while you're there, there is multiple things of loot around, like drugs and money. Now, this is the first section of map that you're playing in. This map has multiple different sections that you're going on. I'd rate this area pretty decent because it's not too bad, fighting the enemies. You've got quite a bit of cover moving from room to room. You're able to make your way down the staircases on the side if you're trying to get your loot into the van, as an example, or if you're trying to progress to the mission once you've hacked it, then you have to go down the staircase and start running to the next section of map. Throughout this mission, you do meet people like Touchdown inside the mission, who actually gives you a real rallying speech here. But all in all, this whole section of map plays in factor of just loading in the next portion of the map, which is going into like another sort of hotel kind of rundown building to hack some more computers and defend more generators to shut down Cagnali. But before you can get there, you must run down this alleyway, which is essentially a choke point where a lot of enemies will spawn, and essentially you and your teammates are going to have to push through them, and that's the only way to progress.
Now, you can enjoy your final days of good shot.
Now, heading into the next section of map, which I mentioned just a minute ago, this here you're going to start uploading the malware to the computers to Cagnali so that you can shut down the robots. A lot of close quarters fighting here, so definitely you're going to want to have a shotgun or some form of a assault rifle with a lot of bullets or reloads quickly. You need decent DPS to be surviving here in the higher difficulties. This right here was my most enjoyable section of the map, though. I do really enjoy this little close quarter section. Now, to finish this section off, you have to actually upload it personally, typing it in with your character, which is a very nice touch, as you can see. And then, as you see, Cagnali herself sends a chopper to pick you guys up. Imagine that killing you. Or that's what you guys thought. Now, I see this scene here as like the boss fight. Here you essentially get completely surrounded by the robot minion soldiers, whatever you want to call them, and they come from both angles. So if your teammates or yourself isn't capable of dealing enough damage, you can get easily overrun here.
Check it. Pretty cool, right?
Let's see. Wow. I wanted to see it. Someone shot him. I thought it was cool. And from here, that's the finish of this mission. Let's go ahead and talk about the fortress. So the start of this mission, you're actually just running in straight to the front doors. I imagine you can stealth it. We just went through loud. It just seemed more fun that way. But as you go through the front doors, you need to hack like a PC and get into the elevator so that you can actually progress to like the robot making room. But as tradition states, when you're in an elevator with your teammates, you must punch each other until you're at the destination. But once you reach your destination here on the floor, you must fight through some guards and push through some enemies here before you can actually reach the room that you're trying to make it. Just don't make the mistake like me and try and fight these guys with your fists. Now, once you make it into the actual facility, you're tasked with planting EMPs to shut everything down, essentially. And then you and your team will group up in a small office building and detonate those. Oh wow. After that, that forces all the robots to attack you, and you're now left to try and push toward Cagnali herself. But as tradition states once again, you must fight each other in the elevator until you guys have reached your destination. Oh, shit, cutscene.
You think you can stop
Oh,
progress?
she's a robot?
Oh, I'll rebuild.
What happened?
On top of your dead bodies.
So now, in terms, this is essentially the boss fight of this mission. You are tasked with hacking her control panels to essentially get her out from that, and then you destroy her shields, which inevitably allows you to kill her in the end. So once you have dealt with the shields of Cagnali, she actually has a minigun, very high DPS. So you must deal with her with a very high DPS gun as well, as a team or by yourself, depending on which weapon.
Killed her by myself, that's somebody. Walked up to her and just shot her.
Robots.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video off this.
No one is coming. Now it's just you and us.
I will make your death.
So at the end of this mission, the player is tasked with a choice to either save her or execute her. There's an obvious choice here, but I don't know what happens if you save her. Obviously, it could be part of the story. Now, I really did enjoy the Cagnali Fortress mission, definitely a really good one. The last mission in this DLC is called Free Graves, which once again is the retired cop detective guy that's on your team in the story mode, who plays pretty, an impactful role as well. So with this mission, you're tasked with breaking into the police department, freeing your teammate, and then taking him away on a chopper on the roof of that same building. That's the synopsis of this whole mission. It's pretty quick. It's a really nice mission that you can stealth on. Hey, if I was able to stealth it, you guys can. But once again, the ending of the mission is you open the cells, you free your teammates out of these cells. Your teammates and you will all regroup to the top of that building, and then from there, you guys will have a chopper fly in and then take everyone out. Pretty good way of escaping. Overall, this mission was a little too short in my opinion, but it still was pretty great nonetheless. I do enjoy being able to stealth a mission that's not extremely hard. After that, you're able to still proficiently get through the mission even with a stealth skill build, because you're able to pick up weapons, and that's the beauty of Crime Boss. Now, there was some big issues that I did experience while playing the Cagnali DLC. The very first playthrough, I had to readjust some settings because it was, I don't know if it's really that noticeable on the footage here because it's going to be rendered, but I was barely able to move essentially because of how laggy it was at first, and trying to shoot enemies, I couldn't really move my mouse. It would just kind of flop all over the place. Now, that could have been just the game trying to load its shaders because that was the very first mission we played. I'm not too certain. After we changed some settings, everything worked fine. We was able to play. For the most part, we was able to play, without any of that issue ever happening again. Now, what I did have happen more oftentimes than not was I would either disconnect or be logged out of the game essentially, and that problem, part of that problem, I believe, was just Epic Games, because I'm playing on the Epic Games launcher. Its login and servers were having issues yesterday, but part of the other issue also being just randomly disconnected from lobbies without the Epic Games having an issue there, that was also being really present while playing on this DLC, which was never really present in the past in the game. So I'm not really sure what was changed there or what's really going on. Maybe something to do with the Steam players or something, I'm not too sure. But I just feel like that was something I needed to mention as well, because I did disconnect quite a bit. Now, the last major issue that I actually ran into with this Cagnali DLC update, which was immediately fixed within hours, I'd like to mention, was that the DLC was inaccessible to us players that got it for free for some reason. And, once again, within hours, it was immediately sent another update and fixed immediately. So I felt like that was also something worth mentioning. Overall, I actually thought this was a pretty good update for Crime Boss nonetheless. To me, I'm not the biggest fan of the futuristic, push or weaponry or anything in that nature, but this one was pretty nice. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't overpowering weapons or anything like that. Everything was just, everything balanced out pretty well. What I'd like to see coming forward still is maybe some customizable options to your actual boss, like maybe colors of their jackets, dresses, shirts, hats. Maybe we can change these items. It'd be amazing. Give us options to customize our weapons, as I've said in the past already. Keep the guns that are already in the game like they are, but then if we get like a default copy of a gun, allow us to put attachments on this weapon. And then obviously attachments can cost money. Everything can play out here. It's just having it the way it is currently, we just don't have very much customizable options, which does really hinder its replayability factor. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys do like this video, please leave me a like. Sub to me if you're new here. Comment on the video what you guys think about the new DLC, and if there was anything that I missed that was really notable to mention, please let me know, and maybe we can make another video and just cover that stuff as well. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it.